I didn't forget about you, meathead. I was just a little preoccupied yesterday. So here we go. I don't know, what is this, exhibit like M? Here we go, meathead. More exposure as the unofficial producer of the show. It's my duty to call out your fucking stupidity. I said I would talk about it later, so let me get into Chris Meathead Stegall. I don't know where Chris gets his information from. I don't know if he just has a short memory. Maybe he's back on the wagon. I don't know. No, that was mean. I shouldn't have said that. Yeah, Chris has said mean shit about me, so fuck it, it stands. But anyway, that's just where I'm at right now. I just don't understand where, like I said, Chris gets his information from, or he just, just doesn't remember. But he had a caller this morning, and there's a few things during his show today. I got sent a few clips that I can talk about, but I want to focus on this one, because I just don't feel like focusing on the other things. I just want to focus on this one. Chris had a caller who said this regarding the whole Obama gate.
Hey, good morning, Chris. Just real quick, this Russiagate story. I think that if you look at every past president, the ones that get left alone and the media, hails as, examples of Americanism, they all bent the knee to the fourth branch. And I think that Obama may have gotten a political advantage with Russiagate. I really believe that Brennan told him he needed to do it. I think Brennan told Comey he couldn't charge Hillary. I think Brennan told Clapper and Comey to leak stuff. Our fourth unelected government, the fourth branch, they're like the unfireable HR department of our country. And their job is to maintain, bad deals, clandestine stuff from previous administrations. So I don't think this was Obama's idea. I think that Brennan is the linchpin in the whole thing.
I tend to agree with you. In fact,
now, you heard what Chris said, right? He agreed with the caller. See, a real informed talk show host who was really up to speed, the talk show host would have said, well, I have to disagree with your thinking on this because the DNI director, Tulsi Rogue Gabbard, I call her Rogue because of her hair. I love her silver streak in her hair. Reminds me of Rogue from X-Men. Let me get back on track. But because he's the talk show host, right? And he's supposed to be really informed about everything that's going on and what his callers might say to him, he should have said, well, DNI director Tulsi Gabbard said Barack Obama was literally the man who orchestrated this.
Joining me now is the woman herself, the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard. Director, thanks very much for being here this morning.
Good morning, Maria. Thank you.
What was the most damning thing that you learned after looking through all of these declassified documents?
Maria, the implications of this are frankly nothing short of historic. Over 100 documents that we released on Friday really detail and provide evidence of how this treasonous conspiracy was directed by President Obama just weeks before he was due to leave office, after President Trump had already gotten elected. This is not a Democrat or Republican issue. This is an issue that is so serious it should concern every single American because it has to do with the integrity of our democratic republic. What we saw occur here, as the documents we released detailed, was that we had a sitting president of the United States and his cabinet and leadership team, quite frankly, who were not happy with the fact that President Trump had won the election, that the American people had chosen Donald J. Trump to be the next president, commander-in-chief of the United States. And so they decided that they would do everything possible to try to undermine his ability to do what voters tasked President Trump to do. So creating this piece of manufactured intelligence that claims that Russia had helped Donald Trump get elected, contradicted every other assessment that had been made previously in the months leading up to the election that said exactly the opposite, that Russia had neither the intent nor the capability to try to, quote unquote, hack the United States election for the presidency of the United States. So the effect of what President Obama and his senior national security team did was subvert the will of the American people, undermining our democratic republic, and enacting what would be essentially a years-long coup against President Trump, who was duly elected by the American people.
Yeah.
That's what he should have said. But he didn't. I just don't get it. Barack Obama was the tip of the spear. He had them change the assessment. Now, maybe Krista Gall is saying Tulsi Gabbard is lying. Maybe he doesn't believe her. But those are the facts. So you have a syndicated talk show host talking to a lot of people, going against the grain and factual narrative from declassified reports that Barack Obama orchestrated this Russia collusion hoax we've been living through for 10 years. Okay. No problem, Christopher. So many people have forgotten what Barack Obama did on the way out the door. There's a reason why the Obama sire did what he did with intelligence. He opened up the floodgates to share intelligence in a way that we've never shared before. That's why he did it. It was all part of the Russia collusion hoax, Christopher. I keep trying to tell you, man, you guys have one job, and this shit really ain't that hard in 2025. Stay informed so you can inform. You know, since he's not going to be here next week, maybe it'll be a good time to actually listen to his show. I'll probably hear some real critical thinking at 6 a.m.